Hi, garden rebels. You know, officially spring is literally around the corner, right? And that means weather-wise, we're gonna be up, we're gonna be down, we're gonna be all around. That means we're gonna get cold, hard rains, there's gonna be hail, there might even be a little bit of snow. But it also means we might have some lovely, warm sunshine. And that means we're gonna start seeing buds on our plants in the garden, and that means we're gonna see some growth. Now, if we have big plans for this summer, if we're having a big wedding in our garden, or just family coming over, or a big party, or even if we just want a nice garden for ourselves this summer, we want to use these nice days in spring to begin. Now, right now, looking at the garden, it can be totally overwhelming. Where do we begin? Today, I want to tackle that just by tackling your containers. It's a confidence builder, it's a for sure success, and it will set the pace for the rest of your garden using really good design principles. Make that summer garden really happen. All the particular details coming up. You mean to tell me that just doing my containers will make my entire garden happen? Yes, I mean exactly that. We're gonna tackle your containers. It's a very good first step. And if we get our containers right early this spring, and if you follow these instructions, you absolutely will. But if you follow these design principles, you can just borrow that throughout all of the areas in your garden. And putting it all together will be just like putting a really large container together. I know it sounds crazy, but it works. So let's get right into it. We're going to put plants together. It's the plants that are really going to make a difference. And your first question always is this in the sun or is this in the shade? And today we've decided, we're going to do the shade planters first. And what do you think of shade? Oftentimes it is types of ferns. Yes, so let's run with that. Ferns do really well. They come back every year. This particular fern is called a tassel fern, so it's a beautiful year-round fern. Design principle 1 is contrast out the color. So in the shade, oftentimes we get lots of different types of green. I want something bright. I want something yellow if at all possible. I use this Acorus Ogon in a lot of containers for the sun or in the shade. Very versatile. There's other grasses that do just as well in the shade that can be also very golden. 1, 2, our third option is just picking another color. So I've chosen this heuchera. This one's called Forever Red. A 1, 2, 3 mixture makes for a really good beginning of a container. We have yet to put in color. We have yet to put in some things that dangle. Another option, by the way, is you can use intricate colors. I have this heuchera as well. This one is called Red Lightning. Lovely red veining throughout on a bright yellow leaf on there. another option. Sometimes having a very fine leaf. This is a Molenbeekia complexa called big leaf. There are varieties that have a very small leaf as well. Nice thing about this is this will kind of grow throughout your container. So putting one on one side, one on the other, maybe even a third in there. Adding in the color, I try to keep things very simple. Of course, I love the yellows. Yellows work really well with this scheme, but also you can use the oranges. Oranges always give a lot of good energy, so I use the oranges, put those in as well. You can do yellows and oranges nicely. You can also do the reds or even the red oranges too. So another option. Here's the thing, that right now we're picking pansies. Later on, perhaps we'll change these out as the weather starts to warm up. We'll change these out for some summer color. This will just tide us over till then. So that is a mixture using color design principles. I use something green, I use something red, I use something yellow. Now you're in the nursery, you don't see these very particular plants. Let's start with something else. Let's say your eye immediately caught this hellebore, this Lenten Rose. These beautiful, beautiful blooms on there. Nice, very tough plants. If you can choose a hellebores, one thing to think about is choose one with some interesting leaves. Now, the nice thing about the hellebores is these blooms last a long, long time. They are a physically very tough bloom themselves, so they handle a lot of weather. But summertime comes and we've got to imagine this plant just with its leaves only. So let's just start there. It was an impulse item, you liked it, let's use this leaf. I'm gonna make that big bold leaf and add in a small intricate leaf. I love these types of Pieris, and I'm a very particular one for small and bushy. I like these Pieris because it actually has bloom in the springtime, and the new growth on them can be very, very bright red. This particular Pieris, it's called Tiki, so stays nice and small, great for containers. So we have a 1, 2. I'm going to add in the Acorus again as a 1, 2, 3 mixture. Very, very simple. Still add in your color as well. Add in your trailers. Instead of using this Molenbeekia, I'm just going to use this Vinca. This is a Vinca Major, by the way, so it has really good colorings later on. Let's keep it even simpler and let's switch to the sun. I picked out something very, very striking. This is a type of Phormium. Lovely, lovely leaves. This one is called Sundowner. It's probably one of the reddest of all the Phormiums. Keep it simple. We're just going to go with the color red for our container. I'm going to add in this Euphorbia. This one is called Miner's Merlot. The neat thing about these is I love these lime green, almost alien type blooms. They really come out very chartreusey later on in the spring. Add in a 1, 2. Here is a Caprosma. This is called Pina Colada. A 1, 2, 3 mixture. The nice thing about this is that we get this grassy-like structure mixed with this nice finer foliage mixed with something glossy. Do I want to add in another? If you had just a little bit of this, we get a 1, 2, 3 nice mixture. By the way, heucheras are very versatile. If you keep this well watered, you can do really well in the sun as well. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, add in your red blooms. Go ahead, add in your orange blooms. And then you can pick out something neutral just to trail nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4. keep it very simple with just one single color. Super easy. Lastly, riffing on that same color scheme design principle, let's do something very, very bold. This is Synesio Angel Wings. I'm a huge fan of it. I've found that it lasts all year round, and keeping it really, really simple. So I am just going to do a 1, 2, and 3 in my container. What? Using just one plant? Not quite. I'm going to add in just a little bit of different foliage texture in your container. This could be something very simple and set it in the center like this. If you want to keep it very traditional, here is something fun, is taking this Acorus. This is Acorus variegata, by the way. It is a white and green grass. Adding this throughout the container. This gives you a beautiful look and contrasting out foliage and color. Now, we haven't added in the color yet. Yes, you may go with the violets, something very, very simple like this mixture. Super, super easy. But getting this done now sets the pace, because in the garden, just doing little bits a day or little bits a week makes all the difference. You'll see it start to come together. Guys, that's the tips and tricks for this week. Always live your passion. It's so much fun.